Hi, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. And today's reading is a monthly reading for June 2025 for the fire sign Aries. Aries, hope you're doing well. So for your reading, I'll be doing a 10-card Celtic cross spread using the Crystal Visions Tarot deck. If I need to clarify, I will use the Gilded Tarot Royale. And at the end, I'll pull an additional oracle card from the Soul's Journey deck. Okay. Just a reminder, the messages, they are general, right? They may or may not resonate. I do encourage you to watch not just your sun sign video, but also your moon and rising. I have done, I'm nearly finished with the readings now, but I would say that there are a lot of repeat messages coming through this month. So sometimes, the messages in your sun sign video might not resonate as well one month, right? So, but if you watch the moon and rising, you have a better overview of the energy surrounding you at this time. So definitely watch all three. And if you do enjoy the reading, I encourage you to please give the video a thumbs up. It greatly helps the channel, and I so appreciate it. And you could also subscribe. That way you would receive notification whenever I post new content. All right, let's get going then. So, Aries, you begin, center the spread with the Four of Pentacles. So there's this concern or worry about, not having enough or wanting to hold on to, actually, whatever you've managed to accrue, financially speaking. The Four of Pentacles is earth energy, and earth energy, it has to do with the work that we do, the money that we earn, our home, family, material possessions. It's everything here in the material realm. And so you can see that the person on the card, I mean, she has the Four of Pentacles. So she's worked hard, right? She's managed to accrue this wealth, but she's very concerned about, losing it. And so she's just clutching the coins very tightly there. And by doing so, she's making the energy of this, of these pentacles, of the money, whatever she's holding on to, very stagnant, right? With the pentacles, we need to obviously, in life, we need to work hard, we need to earn money, we need to receive payment for the work that we do, try to put some of that money aside, pay our bills that we need to pay. So yeah, there is a need to, not to waste our money, but when you just hold on so tightly to it, you make the energy like there's nothing coming in or going out. So it sort of creates this block surrounding the money. So there's a focus on finances, but there's also this cautionary message where you need to be careful that you don't block off the energy of this money, because by doing so, you're not allowing more money to come in, right? You're not losing anything, but then you're not allowing that to grow. You're kind of stifling the growth potential. Oh, we have another card that is very sort of caged in, or, wanting to, or feeling trapped. With the Eight of Swords. So helping or hindering the Four of Pentacles. And we'll go through the spread, and then, obviously we will clarify as needed. The Eight of Swords, sorry if I said Pentacles, it's Eight of Swords. And it's, as you can see, the woman on the card, she's within this prison of swords. She's blindfolded, she's tied up, right? But she could easily get out of the situation, right? These ribbons, they are a ribbon. She could easily take that off of her eyes, wriggle out of the ribbons, the spaces between the swords. I mean, she could easily just fit through the space and leave this prison that she's in. So it's it's this self-imposed, it's this mental prison that she finds herself in. So the Eight of Swords, it is, cerebral energy. I mean, the Suit of Swords has to do with communication. It's our thoughts. So it's thinking that you are stuck in a situation, not feeling as though you're incapable of finding your way out of a situation. And it could be, to do with your finances, your job, with it crossing this Four of Pentacles. In the deep past, we have another 8. This is the Eight of Wands. It's like, opposite energy. The Eight of Wands is fast-paced energy, forward momentum. It can be communication, fast-paced communication coming in. So communication between, like via email, text message, it's sometimes it comes in when you're just texting or messaging, you know, someone, people, or it could be to do with like a job where you've applied for a job, submitted your resume, and then you hear back from the HR department, and it's like that back and forth of submitting information, hearing back from them. You know, it can be something as simple as that. It can also be travel. It can be travel by air. You might be traveling, you know, by air, so going to a different country. But it's very fast paced. So something coming in, it does set in the deep past. So there could have been this, you know, fast paced news coming in or communication. In the recent past, it looks like it's led to wish fulfillment, because the Nine of Cups is, it's like the minor arcana version of the star card, right? Of the wish upon a star. And so it's, setting your intentions. You see, she's like making a wish, right? Setting the intentions, blowing the all of these seeds like out into the universe, and then trusting that the universe will provide, and it's having the wishes come true here. So some type of wish fulfillment in the recent past. Crowning the reading, you have the High Priestess. This is number 2 of the major arcana. The High Priestess is associated with the water sign of Cancer, and you know, she is very intuitive. She sits between the physical realm and the spiritual realm, kind of this, you know, guarding the, like, she's the one who pulls the curtain back, right? This veil between the two realms. And she relies on her intuitions, and she also, when she comes out in the reading, she encourages you to trust in your intuition. So listening to that, you know, that inner voice, that inner knowing. Also, it might be, you know, a good time this month to really pay attention to signs, synchronicities. So when you're out and about, you know, if you start seeing, pay attention to the repeating numbers, what you're doing when you see those repeating numbers, what you're thinking, how your body feels, you know, pay attention to all of those signs. Also you might be receiving messages in your dreams at night. So it might be a good month for you to keep a dream journal. But intuition, spirituality, right, with the High Priestess coming out, it could be a month where you are, you know, focused, or there's a particular emphasis on spirituality. And yeah, and I have that even more with the Hermit coming out. So near future is number 9, the Hermit. And the Hermit is associated with the earth sign of Virgo, but is also a very spiritual figure. It goes off into, you know, into the wilderness, in this case, up into the mountains here, guided by this lantern representing that, you know, spiritual, like that inner, sort of inner knowing, right? The spiritual light, and in search of spiritual growth, in search of knowledge. So it's a very, looks like spirituality, and intuition, and, you know, seeking that spiritual guidance. You could be with the Hermit, you could be just taking time out, retreating, right? Doing some practices that, you know, that will help you, as far as like just meditating, grounding, like just taking a few minutes out of your day to connect, right? It can be as easy as just taking your shoes off and, you know, walking outside on the grass and just feeling the grass underneath your feet, right? Feeling the earth, and just getting into the moment, and you know, meditating. It's just seeking out the sort of guidance. So spirituality, messages coming through. And you have, wow, you have the 9 of Cups. So you have the minor arcana version and the major arcana version of the star card. This is beautiful. This is how you're showing up in the reading. The star card is a card of healing. So if there has been any, you know, difficult situation, or even, you know, physical like issues. So if you have had, for example, like any type of surgery, or, you know, the star card is a card of healing. It's also a card of wish fulfillment. The star card is associated with the air sign of Aquarius, but, you know, this is wishes coming true. This is beautiful energy. Surrounding you in your environment, you have the King of Cups. So you might be dealing with a King of Cups. Could be an older water sign individual, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, male or female, even though he shows up as a king here. It's not gender specific, but it could be like a older male, so a father figure, your own father of your children. But he's very emotionally available. He's a very calm individual. He's also quite intuitive as well. So again, this intuition, spirituality coming through. Hopes and fears. Okay, this is just a fear. So please do not, don't get upset seeing the Three of Swords come out in the reading, because it is a fear. And the Three of Swords, as the card, depicts, is a card of heartache, right? It can represent in the sort of in a romantic situation. It can obviously represent like a third party situation. So heartache. In a more general sense, it can just represent a disappointment, something, being very disappointed about a situation. But again, it's the suit of the mind, just like this Eight of Swords. So it's, yes, it hurts and it's a disappointment, but it also is kind of how we think about that, how we approach that, right? Or how we manage this disappointment. But it sits as a fear. So it could just be, with all of this, especially with the beautiful like wish fulfillment, and especially if you are spending more time like tapping into, and working on like your intuitive practice. Could be, you're just working on that yourself, or you might be actually seeking out guidance through with other people doing readings for you or getting guidance that way. It could be that there's a fear of a disappointment coming in, when how sometimes when things finally start going right for you, you might be like, oh, something's bound to happen. Like something's bound to happen. It can't just all be going right. I can't have this Nine of Cups. I can't have the Star. Something has to happen. So it could just be this, irrational fear of disappointment. Yeah, and then you have the Magician. This is beautiful. You have how many major arcanas? 1, 2, 3. So this is 4. So you have 4 major arcanas in your spread. But as you head out the month into the month of July, Magician, this is number 1 of the major arcana. Magician is associated with the signs of Gemini and Virgo. And the Magician is like all of the aces rolled into one. And the aces are obviously, they're blessings from the universe. They're the green light, it's time to go cards, right? They're yes cards. And he is sort of the ace of aces, because he has all of the tools at his disposal. He has the wands, the pentacles, the swords, the cups. He has everything he needs to manifest whatever it is that he wants. So this is, you set your intentions, and then it's like he is manifesting them into reality. So it seems like there's a lot of soul searching this month. And, a need to, like, you might have been experiencing, especially with this Eight of Swords. We will clarify. Let me just go ahead and show you. Yeah. This Five of Cups has come out for quite a few signs now. So this is the overall energy, the Five of Cups. And it's interesting that here she's focused on the 3 cups that have overspilled, representing, she's very much focused on what hasn't worked out, what she no longer has, this disappointment, right? And by doing so, she's not even paying attention to the 2 cups that she has floating around her head here, representing 2 of Cups, right? Soulmate energy. This could be a love connection, could be a partnership, but it says she's the point of the Five of Cups, and the message of this Five of Cups is that she needs to stop focusing on what she doesn't have anymore, what hasn't worked out, right? Because if she continues to do this, she might be missing out on these other beautiful opportunities in the present. And we have the Three of Cups, and then this Three of Swords, which is a disappointment over on this side. So we'll go ahead and clarify before we move on. So Spirit, what additional messages does Aries need to hear? Please clarify for Aries, June 2025. And I'm going to clarify the Eight of Swords, the Three of Swords, and this Five of Cups. Okay, those will be the 3 that we'll clarify. So clarifying additional messages for Aries. One last shuffle here, Aries. And divide the deck. Okay, so clarifying this Eight of Swords, we have the Six of Cups. So, yeah, something from the past. It's thinking that you're stuck in a situation, right? Feeling stuck, feeling as though there's no way out. And it has to do with a past. This can be a past connection. This can be, sometimes, you know, the Six of Cups, it can represent like a past life connection. It can also be something from the past, reconnecting with people from the past, going back to, you know, a situation or a relationship from the past. And like the cautionary message of the Six of Cups is always like, well, if you do go back, you know, make sure that you are seeing the situation, the person, whatever it might be, in the right light and not with rose-colored glasses on. Because a lot of times when, you know, when you think about the past, especially if you might end up, even if it was like a good situation, you might end up, you know, putting these rose-tinted glasses on and just remembering things as being a lot better than they actually were. So it's you know, making sure that you are being sort of realistic and seeing things for how they truly are. But this is, you know, it's something from the past here. So, you know, it's not heading into the future. There's something that needs to be released from the past. Clarifying this Three of Swords, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So this disappointment, there could have been a disappointment, and there's a fear of disappointment here, right? It does sit in your hopes and fears. Relating to your job situation, how you earn money. The Ace of Pentacles is, you know, it's that new job offer. It can be a lump sum of money coming in, or just a new way for you to make money. So there's, you know, there's a fear of disappointment related to that, but it is just a fear, right? And with, you know, with the Magician coming in, and, you know, that just sort of takes care and wipes away this fear, because the Magician is very powerful energy, and he's manifesting. So whatever this, and like I said, he's sort of the Ace of Aces. So he is bringing whatever this new beginning, whichever new beginning, whether it's in work, love, you know, whatever new beginning it is, you're manifesting that, right? It's coming into reality. And clarifying the Five of Cups, we have the Three of Swords. So I said, like, it's like this Five of Cups and Three of Swords they're connected in some way. This is disappointment, but it's from the past. Let me pull a couple more on that. So we have the Three of Swords, the Strength, and I'll pull one more, and the Five of Cups. Okay, that's funny. So we have, yeah. So that's just a repeater. So clarifying the Five of Cups, we have the Three of Swords, the Strength card, which is number 8 of the Major Arcana, right? Strength is associated with the fire sign of Leo. And then the Five of Cups, which is just a repeater of this one. So yes, it's having the inner strength and drive, determination to overcome some type of disappointment from the past, and understand that it needs to be left in the past. You know, it does not need to be brought into the present or the future. It needs to just stay in the past. Let's see what additional message comes in from the Soul's Journey deck. So one additional message for Aries. What else does Aries need to know for the month of June? Additional messages for Aries. Okay, we will shuffle that. Divide it. Okay, and you have, let me move these over. Worry. I'm learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. And that's, you know, that makes so much sense with the Three of Swords, this Five of Cups, the Eight of Swords. Yeah, it's like there's an energy of worry, of, you know, focusing on what hasn't worked out, this disappointment. And it says, I'm learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Let me read you the full description of the card from the guidebook. And it says, worry is a wasted emotion. It does nothing other than give you the illusion of control. When you expend too much energy worrying, it limits you and has an adverse effect on the natural energy of the soul. Worrying destroys the hope, faith, and excitement that are wonderful elements of this schoolroom called Earth. Remember that you are what you think, and you have the power to create positive thoughts which beget positive outcomes. Worry is a negative emotion and sets you up for a negative result. What unnecessary worries are you carrying around with you now? Examine them objectively in the light of love. Help your soul by releasing them and be fully connected to the current moment, which is where your power resides. Well, that couldn't have tied in more perfectly with the reading, could it now? Yeah, there's this need to release. So release this worry, and do not take this, energy of worry into the present or the future. So, wow, very powerful reading here for you, Aries. So I do hope that the messages have helped. Again, if you enjoyed the reading, please consider giving the video a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that. And just know that I am sending you all much peace, love, and light for a wonderful month of June. Bye for now.